Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. So today's video is sponsored by Bespoke Post, and I know that not everybody is on board with sponsored videos, so in the interest of compromise, I'm going to take a page out of my YouTube buddy Captain Kleeman's book. All sponsored videos that he does, he brings them to you ad-free. So I think that's a good compromise, a way to meet in the middle. So thanks to Bespoke Post, the rest of this video is going to be ad-free. Anyway, what we have on the agenda today is a pretty full schedule. All of this firewood sitting here behind me, we've got to go ahead and start moving these firewood baskets to the new firewood yard. And then we're going to go ahead and start running the chainsaw. And we're going to put the Eastonmade axis through a pretty good workout today, trying to get as much of these logs processed as we can. Now, before we can go ahead and start moving firewood from the old firewood yard to the new firewood yard, we've got to fix up this road a little bit. This section of the firewood road is where we put in that scrap piece of 8-inch SDR because we had water pooling all in here, and because the road was built up higher, it was just sitting here. So we put in a makeshift culvert to get the water to the other side of the road so it can drain downhill. But when we did that with the excavator, the ground was really soft and wet. We didn't get any compaction, and there was a time where I needed to get back here, so I did drive over this with the truck, and as you can see, I created a big rut because it was just too soft and wet. So we're gonna go pick up some rock here today with the pickup truck and the dump trailer, bring it in here, smooth this all out. Otherwise, I won't be able to get back to the new firewood yard at all this winter. So I need to fix this road up so I can get back here and use this. All right, so we are ready to get to work. We've got the bucket on the tractor, the box blade on the tractor, and we've got our rock down here. Now, a question a lot of people ask us is, how well does your Ford F-150 tow that 7x14 dump trailer? And to be honest, for the weekend warrior or the casual user like myself, absolutely fine. Now, this load here of rock, this was 4.1 tons, a little over 8,000 pounds. That is definitely pushing the limit of the F-150. Now, I wasn't going too far. The rock quarry is only about 2 miles from here, but I was still able to get from the bottom of the driveway up this hill on a gravel driveway and bring it down here. But for towing the tractor around, like I said, this is 8,000 pounds of rock. That tractor at best only weighs probably somewhere about 4,500 pounds with the loader on it, loaded rear tires, and an attachment like the box blade on the back. So moving the tractor around is no problem. Probably, in all honesty, my next truck will be a 3/4 ton, but that'll be years down the road. I'm gonna drive the wheels off that F-150. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop on the tractor and get this road fixed up. Well, that's all fixed up for now, or at least as good as it's going to get today. It's still a little bit wet and soft, so I want to let this dry and firm up a little bit before I start carrying full IBC totes over it with the tractor. What I'll probably end up doing is letting this dry out for a day or two, come back in here with the box blade again, give it a nice final smooth touch up, and then I'll roll it in with the tires, and then I'll start carrying IBC totes over here. Right now, even though I've got rock in there, when I'm driving over it, it's still wanting to mush out to the side a little bit. So this needs to firm up a little bit more before we start driving on it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna create ruts and have the same problem I did when I started. So now that we've got the firewood yard wrapped up, it's time to go get the chainsaw and the Eastonmade axis out. But before we do that, let's go take a minute to talk about today's sponsor. So I mentioned earlier that today's video is sponsored by Bespoke Post, and I thought what better place to come sit and talk about today's sponsor than out here in the garage next to the wood stove. If you're not familiar, Bespoke Post is a monthly membership club sending out awesome boxes of what I would consider man stuff. Basically, you take a short little quiz online just to give them an idea of what your preferences are, and then on a monthly basis, they will present you with what their pick for you for that month is to send you out a box. And the other thing that I really like about Bespoke Post is, unlike most other monthly subscription services that try to lock you into something each month, Bespoke Post is highly flexible. If for whatever reason, you don't like the box that they presented to you that month, or, money's a little tighter that month, you had something go out on your car, you can just forego your box for that month and resume the following month or whenever you feel like it. You're not locked into anything. So I really like the flexibility of that. The other thing that I really like about Bespoke Post is their commitment to small U.S. businesses. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, they have invested over $47 million in product from small businesses across the U.S., packaged them up in their boxes, and shipped them out to their customers. Now, Bespoke Post says that each box contains over $70 in value, but only costs $45. So let's take a look at the 3 boxes they sent us based on the quiz that we took. So the first box is what's called their slash box, and it is basically this heavy-duty machete with this nice sheath. And this thing is heavy. I mean, it probably weighs 2 to 3 pounds, something like that. It has substantial mass behind it. I want to say if you really put your back into it, you could probably start chopping down some 1 to 2 inch saplings with this. I think I'll probably end up keeping this in the Polaris Ranger. So when I go back in the woods, if there's ever, those branches that start crowding in the trail, I can go ahead and just pop this out and take care of them. The second box is their split box, and it is this very nice, rugged, utilitarian looking hatchet, and it also comes with a miniature sheath as well. I think this I'm going to keep out here in the garage for splitting kindling. And then the third box that they sent us is their forge box, and it's this little knife that comes with a sheath as well. It's made out of this really nice Damascus steel, and I'll tell you what, guys, all 3 of these products just feel really nice in the hand. They feel like they're quality built. Anyway, if you want to check out Bespoke Post, I'll leave a link down in the description to get 20% off your first box. Enter Hometown 20 at checkout. Anyway, let's get back to the video. All right, so I forgot, we got one more thing we need to do with the tractor before we go ahead and fire up the chainsaw and the Eastonmade axis, and that is clear out all this chafe. Now, one thing I will say about this Eastonmade axis is the amount of chafe that comes off this machine is extremely minimal. What you see here, this is probably off of, I don't know, 10 cords worth of wood. Very minimal waste when you're splitting with this axis. And it's also very easy to clean up if you've got a tractor and a box blade. Basically, I just come in here and drop the box blade and just sweep it right out like the world's biggest dustpan. don't know if you guys could tell in that time lapse, but look who showed up. I think Doug has a sixth sense for whenever I need help. He just appears out of nowhere and gives me a hand. A lot of people in the comment section have been saying, I wish I had a neighbor like Doug. And I'll tell you what, guys, I wish everybody had a neighbor like Doug.
I'm just here for the exercise.
Well, he brought over the splitting mauls because he wanted to get a little workout in that way. How many did you do before you called it quits and jumped to the axis?
I did one hickory and I gave up after that. But I think this one will be a little better. This is the old school way we used to do it.
There you go.
But the worst part about it is I didn't bring my tire over to keep the logs in check.
Yeah, I asked Doug, I said, how come you don't have a log splitter? And he says, in the last video we talked about how he had a chimney fire in his wood boiler, so he doesn't burn with heat anymore. He just does recreational burning in the campfire. What do you burn in your campfire? No more than probably a quart a year, right?
That's about it, yeah.
Yeah, so if that's all the more you're doing, a hydraulic splitter probably is a little bit overkill. And like you said, you want the exercise, so.
Yep. Yeah, makes it a lot better.
But what we're doing now, and we kind of think this is a little more efficient, is we are just stacking directly from the Eastonmade axis into these baskets. We'll come in here with the pallet forks in the tractor, pick them up, swap it out for an empty one. And my thought was, you know, if you've got it running off the conveyor and just into a pile and you stack it later, then you're stacking the wood while the engine is off and you're not burning fuel. Whereas this way, you're stacking it while you're burning fuel, but this is quicker because you're not handling the wood twice. So it's kind of 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. But I'd rather burn fuel than our backs out, right?
Yeah, I think it goes a lot quicker if you can just go right to the basket.
Yeah, saving a touch there. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and swap this one out, and we're gonna see how far we can get through this pile of logs here today. Well, that was a full day. We got over 2 full cords of wood. We've got 1 basket there, 1 on the other side of the splitter, 2 over here, and I already carried down 3 baskets. So that's 7 baskets of wood we got done today. And we topped off a couple of cherry baskets. Doug was asking me earlier, why do you separate out your cherry baskets? And I said cherry's worth a lot more. People like to use that for smoking. And I split that down real small, and people like to throw that in their smoker. But I don't know. What do you think, Doug? That was a pretty good day. It was beautiful out.
Yeah, it was some good exercise, so
Yeah.
that's what I was looking for. And just these type of days are absolutely perfect to be outside.
And they're hard to come by. It's once a year. Every fall we get a handful of these days where it's like 50 degrees, a little bit of a breeze, just beautiful out. So I think we definitely made the most of it and got some firewood processed. But anyway, I think that's going to about wrap this one up. I want to thank Bespoke Post again for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget Hometown 20 to get 20% off your first box. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.